Good morning and welcome back once again to Jack's Tech Corner. I'm your host Jack, and this is Photography Weekly, episode number 35, for Sunday, December the 4th, 2011. Coming up in this episode is installing brushes and adding snow for the seasons. I found a great snow brush. I think you're going to enjoy it, so I'll show you how to put that onto your computer, and we'll look at both Mac and Windows this morning. Also, we're going to talk about some online and free editors. Now, I know I'm a big Photoshop Elements fan. I'm sure most of you out there are also. But for other folks watching these shows or coming to the YouTube video for the reruns, maybe they can't for whatever reason pick up Photoshop Elements and they think they're left with basically no editor. But I'm going to change that thought, and that is why this is called Photography Weekly, right? Because we can talk about all things photography. So let's go ahead and get started this week with Photography Weekly. Okay, so anyway, we are going to be talking about these brushes. I know a few people have asked me and said, Jack, what about brushes and how do we use brushes? And just making sure the microphone, if you guys can hear me okay. And they would say, what about brushes and what is the brushes and how do you install them? Where can you find brushes? You know, that's been a big thing over the time of me doing these videos, and now I want to be able to share that with you and show you where we can find some brushes at and how we can get those installed onto your computer, either if you're using a Mac or if you're using Windows. It's not going to really matter. And then, like I said, we're going to look at some free editors. And, you know, there's some good free stuff out there that you can use. It might not be as robust and it won't have as many tools as the Photoshop programs do, but they are functional. So I wanted to show you how to use those also. First, let me open up here this morning with, let's see here. I'm going to open up this morning with giving some shout outs here, and then we will see what's going on in the chat room first, because I see some people maybe having some issues, and I want to check on that right away. So good morning, Andy Taylor. Good morning, Cheryl, Chicky, Fabian, Jody, June, and Serena. Good morning to you folks, and good morning to Jessica, so you just tuned in. All right. So I don't know if people are having trouble here this morning or not. I'm going to bring my player back up real quick here just on my laptop just to see where we're at and make sure everything is transmitting okay. And it looks like it is. It looks like it's very solid there. We have a good steady output. So if you are viewing, we do have the chat room open this morning. If you go to live.jackstechcorner.com and click on the live chat, well, the box will open up. Just put a name in there. We ask that you use your real name so we know who you are when you're asking questions. And it makes it a lot more interesting if you get in there and chat with us. You can ask questions about whatever you want to ask about, and we'll be there for you. So, now going into the chat room, I'm just going to go through this real quick here. June was having some trouble getting in. Somebody else was saying they're not getting video for some reason, Jody. Sometimes you just have to refresh the page. If you refresh that page and hit the play button, if you're on my channel, if you go to the channel, if you're on the Justin TV channel, it'll just start playing and you'll be fine. The ad, there may be an ad that plays first, and that's customary on Justin TV. That's just how they make their money. Once that goes away, you should be good to go, and we should be able to watch the show, and you should not get any more commercials when that happens. Let's see. And if you still have a black screen, like I said, Jody, if you want to, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but jump over to Justin TV and see if you have it there. If not, I would update your Flash player on your computer. You might need a newer Flash update. So everybody else looks like they're okay. And good morning also, like I said there to Jessica. I did see you popped in there. So very good. So we are going to get started here. And like I said, we're going to start off with brushes first. And what you can do with them. And boy, they're a lot more than just using it to paint or using it to do masks with. I mean, there's so much you can do with a brush. And I got some YouTube videos that I actually created a while back that shows you how to create your own brushes. So you might have to dig through the archives for those. But today we're just going to look at how to download a brush and how to install that brush into your Photoshop Elements. And I'm going to show you in both, in Windows and on the Mac. So we have both fills for that, so we know how to do that. So let's go back over here. One day I wait for one of those springs just to blast off of there and come shooting across into my Mac. I would not be a very happy camper at that point. Let's pull this down just a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So I think we'll get started here first of all with working on the Windows side, and then we'll go to the Mac side because I have Windows open, so I think we'll start there and then we'll work our way back. So let me go ahead and bring up my desktop, and I will show you where you can find some brushes at, and then I will also show you at the same time how to download that brush and how to put it in there so we can use it. Okay, just going to get a certain part of the screen right here. I don't want the whole thing. You don't need to see the whole screen, I don't think. And we will go from there. Just bring this up. Bring this over. And we'll hit done selecting. Okay, so this happens to be Windows 7, but you can also use basically any, it's either going to be Windows XP, Windows 7, or I'm going to show you how to do this on the Mac. Okay, so go ahead and bring up see if that works. Let's nudge this up a little bit. Oops, right about there. Okay, so with that said, what we're going to do here and what we're going to look at is how do we actually take this and how we're going to actually load our brushes. First thing you have to do is find a brush. Now I actually found some at this, and this is what I did a kind of a tutorial on before as I used this site. It's called Brush Easy. Now it's BrushEezy.com. Brush Easy. Now, Brush Easy will allow you to download so many free brushes. Now they also have premium site which you can join their site, and you can download all kind of stuff from them, patterns and backgrounds and brushes, but we're going to download the free one here called Snowflakes. So all I'm going to do right here is just click on the download file, and then once that comes up, we're just going to save it to a folder. I did downloads, elements, then I made a folder called brushes. We're going to just go ahead and we're going to install this Snowflake brush right here. Well, not install it yet, we're just downloading it. So let's go ahead and download it first. And you'll find it allows you to download very quickly. Our brushes are very, very small. So click open right here. And then you're going to have to extract them. And I'm sure you've extracted different programs before and different types of files. So just right click on it and go to extract all. And then we're going to go ahead and extract it right here. Hit extract. Now here's the problem a lot of people make, because I get a lot of emails that says, Jack, I installed those brushes, just not working. What happens is, and after I talk to them for a while, is they're trying to install this folder. You have to double click the folder, and you're looking for this file here, this .abr. Now there's a way, and I don't know in your Photoshop if it's turned on or not, but there is a way to turn on extensions so you can see the name of the files. I suggest you do that because look, they're named the same. So if we accidentally put this .jpeg in there, it's not going to work. We need the ABR for a brush. And here is how to turn that on. Go into your control panel. When you're in the control panel, go into folder options. Now right here, hopefully you can see this okay, we're under view. See where it says hide extensions of known file types? Usually that's checked. You want to uncheck that so you can see, you want to be able to see the extensions of known file types. Even though you know the file, the files or the file types, you want to see the extension. So uncheck that and click OK. Now, once you have that brush right here, we're going to have to put it somewhere. So right click on just the brush and copy it. Once you have that brush copied, then we're going to go into our Windows or our C drive. Go to Program Files. This is on your Windows 7 now. It's also going to be on Windows XP. Windows XP also has Program Files. Go into there. If we go under Adobe, and then whatever version you might have. You see I got version 8 and 10 loaded on this computer here. Then I want to go to a folder called Presets. And then there's a folder right here at the top called Brushes. Then all I have to do is right click in here and click on Paste. And now we have the Snowflake Brushes by, and then this is the Hawksmont that wrote the brushes or created the brushes. So once they're in there, we can just close this out, and we're going to minimize this. We'll come back to that after a bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up my Photoshop Elements editor. We're going to open this up. And then let's go ahead and open up the editor right here. Get that opened up. It's gonna give me this error message. Don't worry about that message. That was from my external hard drive. It starts making a humming noise every time I do a show. Okay, to see how this brush works, what I'm going to do is go to File. I'm going to go to New, blank file. I'm just going to create a new file here to show you how this brush works. That was another brush I was playing with earlier. Click on here. So what you would do then is go down. Just seeing here why it's not coming up right. There we go. You want to go down here to Brushes. Click on the brush. Come up the top here and click this pull down menu. Now we have to find those snowflake brushes. So under Brushes, click the little pull down menu. And you should see your new brushes in there. If you put it in the right folder, you're going to see them there. Now, take note of this. Remember when we did actions last week, we had to delete the database and rebuild the database. And you don't need to do that for brushes. The brushes, it's just a file and it'll find it in that folder. Now, you do have to have Photoshop Elements closed before you do this. If it's open and you load the brushes in a folder and sit there, it's not going to see it. Because when Photoshop Elements opens, that is when all the folders get checked to see what's in them to set this stuff up. We can go and click one of these snowflakes, and then you will check this out. it now makes a brush. There's a brush. We can lower that brush size just like we do all the time with the left and right bracket keys. And you just click it on here. There's a brush. We come over here and we can actually change the colors just like you would any other brush. And you can put that brush on here. So I just thought snowflakes was an appropriate brush to play with right now because of the season, the time of the year it is. So I thought it would be a good time to be able to show you those. Just trying to see here. Kind of lost some of the chat room there. So that is how you install brushes onto Windows 7. It's very easy. Like I said, just remember when you download it. The big thing is when you're downloading, if you're not used to downloading, remember where you're downloading to. That's really critical. So if you want to download, I always make a download folder under my C drive, or use the one that comes with your Windows 7 downloads. But make folders in there. Like I made Photoshop Elements, then inside that Elements folder I would make folders called Actions, make folders called Backgrounds, and make folders called Brushes, and whatever else you may be downloading. Don't group all that stuff together. And when you're done, it's always a good idea to go back in there and to delete that folder you downloaded, the zip file. You can just delete that. You don't need it anymore. So that is how we load them onto Windows 7. Now, for you Mac folks out there, put down your cup of coffee and pay attention. We're going to close Elements right now because we're done with that. I'm not going to save this. Okay, let's minimize this. Now, for my Mac folks out there who is watching, like I said, put down your cup of coffee. We are now going to address on how to install onto the Mac. So let's do that. Once again, I went to Breezy.com or Brushes Easy. Brush Easy, not Breezy. Brush Easy. BRUSHEEZY. Tell them Jack's Tech Corner sent you if you happen to buy the premium. Not that they're a sponsor, just tell them. Tell them you see it on Jack's Tech Corner show, because then they may email me and say, can we be a sponsor? And that would be great. Let's go ahead and click on download the file. So we're going to download it here on our Mac now. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to save the file. And up here, as I said, under my downloads, I made folders here under Elements called Actions, Brushes, and Textures. Go into Brushes. And I actually downloaded it once, I believe. I think. Yeah, it looks like it. We're going to download it again. We're going to replace it. That's fine. Then I'm going to open up my Finder window. All right. Just like my computer, but they call it Finder. We're going to go to where I downloaded those. And we're going to go to Mac Software, is where I download stuff to. Elements. And then Brushes. And then here's my zip file. So I just right click on it, say Open with Archive Utility. And again, excuse me, you don't have to make any kind of changes or anything on the Mac because the extensions always show on the Mac. So that's just the way they are. So we go up here to our ABR file. It's the same file you download too. Did you notice that? There's not a Windows file and a Mac file, and it's a Photoshop file. So we don't have to worry about Windows or Macs, or at least it stays very consistent across all platforms. Right click on that. Let's click on copy. We're going to grab that. And now we're going to go into, of all places, instead of program files, you go right into applications. Applications, then Adobe. Hold it. Nope. That was wrong. See, that's where I went earlier. That's not where it's at. You go down here. It's probably better if we pull this out so we can see what's going on. Look down through your applications. You have Adobe, Photoshop, Elements. I have 9 and 10 loaded on my Mac side. So let's click on 10. And it's under Support Files. Then it's called presets once again. Who would have ever thought that? Huh? That's pretty great. Now it's under presets and then brushes. And then we can just right click under here and paste it. Very quickly it is pasted in there. Now we just close this out because we're done with that. We don't have to worry about that any longer. And I could minimize this. And I got 9 million windows open here, as always. It's crazy. And ask me later. Updates. I think Firefox updates more than any other application I know on the internet. Pretty much anyway. Now let's go ahead and open up our Elements 10 editor. Let's go into here, and if we go into support files, we can open up just the editor itself. We don't have to open up that whole menuing system. And let's see what we got going on here. Okay. We are checking this out here. We'll make another selection area here, make this a little smaller so we can see what's going on. Just like that. Okay. All right, so here is our elements. And if everything went right, hopefully, create a blank file. And click OK. Here's our file. Now if we click on our brush, which is brushes are selected, click up here, click the pull down menu, and once again, here is the Snowflake brushes on your Mac. Now they just come up a little bit differently here because I have it set different. If you click this little pull down menu over here, you can have large list, small list. I believe the other one was probably set up on small thumbnails like that. So you have a lot of different ways you can view these. Let's go ahead and pick one of these out. That looks like a nice one. It's awful big, so I'll use my left bracket key and make it smaller. We don't really want white because white's not going to show up on anything. That wouldn't make any sense at all. And then we make our snowflakes. So there you have it. Very, 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 again, very simplistic, very easy to load brushes. Like I said, if you didn't watch my video from before on YouTube of how to create brushes, watch that because I give you a very simple, straightforward way of creating a brush and saving that brush so you can use it. We created a signature brush. Obviously, I probably don't have it loaded on this computer to show you, but yeah, I don't. But what the signature brush allows you to do, instead of watermarking it, you would just click down here and create a signature. So I taught you how to do that a while back. So there you go on that. All right. With that said, go to my website, jackstechcorner.com, and look for the sponsors links on the left. You want to click on the graphics, and that will take you to the sponsors links. When you use my website to get to them, that helps the show out, and I truly appreciate it, as well as then the sponsors know that you are coming from Jack's Tech Corner Show. And if you want to help even more, you can pick up a DVD. It will not only help the show, it helps you. You can learn Photoshop Elements. There's many, many tips and tricks in there that you're going to learn with. You don't have to worry about the internet speed then. All the videos are burnt onto the DVD. Or like many of you already did, you can also donate to the show. All donations of any size are greatly appreciated, and they help to buy new equipment as well as the software I need to continue to do these videos for you. So, thank you very much, and let's go ahead and get back to Jack's Tech Corner and more learning. Okay, very good. So we did locate that. We actually found it, and I think we can rotate the brush. Let's just find a brush we can rotate here. Anyway, let's see. So I'm on brushes. I'm going to pick a brush out. Let's go back here. I'm going to bring you back up on my desktop. Okay. Close this up here. Like running a marathon there to get a cup of coffee. Man, oh man. All right. Now, so to flip a brush, what we're going to have to do here is we're going to take this, and if you click right up here, first let's pick out our snowflake brush again. Let me see here. If we have one we can rotate, which, well, they're all kind of pointed. I had one at one time I was playing with in here. It was actually a tree limb. It was a lot nicer to play around with here. But I don't know if we can see it or not with these. Well, we'll try it with this one. Let's go up here to new file though. We're going to lose some stuff here. Not good. Not good at all. We're going to lose some. We're not going to have anything for YouTube if that doesn't work. Let's see here. Anyway, let's go back up here to new. Let's do a blank file again, so you can see this rotating. Alright, so if we click here, here's our normal brush. We're going to make it smaller. If you click right here on the brush itself, see right there, you can go down here and there's an angle changer. You can even change it this way. It's pretty cool. I don't know what that's going to look like for roundness. We're going to close that, see what that's going to... It kind of lays it back. So it gives you that, like a two-dimensional type view of it. But what I was looking at, you were asking about rotating it. Let's push that back up. We can rotate it right here, back and forth. So you could rotate it all the way around, 180 degrees around, like that. But like I said, you can't tell with this particular brush, just because, I mean, it's the same on all sides, so you can't tell. But it is rotating it, so there is a way to do that. So that is how we would come across that and rotate that brush. So just like that. It's not too bad. Try to record some more of this here. Like I said, it's going to be kind of messed up for YouTube. Afraid of that too. Might end up having to go back to the other software when running Windows, but that's just could be the way it is. I mean, you know. So here we go on there. So that's how you rotate them, folks. I mean, it's not really that hard, and I appreciate that with the user number 3 coming in there and telling us at least where to find that, because I wasn't quite sure of where to find that at. So yes, you can rotate the brushes, and we do know we can do that now. Let's see. Just kind of checking up here on the chat room, seeing what's going on. Okay. Alrighty. So we got that covered. Okay, Keith. User 3 is Keith from Facebook. So if everybody wants to give Keith the attaboy for the week for giving us that quick tip there, how to actually do that. Okay, so now we're going to go over this software I wanted to tell you about, because there's some really nice free editors out there we can use that you don't have to use Photoshop Elements. This is again just going out to people that maybe for one reason or another, you know, don't want to buy Photoshop Elements, maybe you want to have a free alternative, and we can show you that. Let me close this Photoshop Elements out, and I'm going to show you just a couple here. Get rid of that and bring up the web browser here. And we will see under my bookmarks, if I can find it here for you first. Let's see here. Here it is right here. Okay, the first one I wanted to show you, and this actually came from, and I always get these wrong, it was either Cheryl or Vicky posted this on Facebook, and that's where I found this. And that's where I played with it a little bit. This is called Splash Up. Now, Splash Up is pretty cool because when I played around with it, let me bring it up here. Now, you're going to have to sign for a free account, and they don't really ask you for anything. But let's jump right in here, and I'll show you how it comes up. Oops. Yeah, not like that I won't, huh? Okay, so this is how it comes up. I mean, it looks a lot like, and it feels a lot like Elements. You can even go View. You can enter full screen mode. And then you have a full screen view there of it. And then you can move these palettes around. I noticed in the other view I can't move them around. So you can move these palettes around here a little bit. It even has layers. It doesn't have layer masks. I can't tell you that because I checked on that this morning. I said, well, does it have a layer mask? But it doesn't. You would open up a picture, go to File, and go to Open an Image. Now this is pretty cool here. Let me try to open up my full screen here so you can see this. Let's go back here. And make this... the only thing is it does resize your window a lot here. Let's do this again and make this full screen. And if you see I am doing this on my Mac, you can also do this on Windows. It does work on Windows. We will just go ahead and open an image here. So when you go to open an image, I thought this was kind of cool though. It allows you to pull it from either Splash Up, I guess they store photos, Facebook, if you set your Facebook account up, Flickr, Picasa, SmugMug, PhotoBucket, and then a website. Now I was just pulling mine up from the desktop. You just hit the browse button. It just works like any other photo editor. Those are some boats and stuff we were playing around with there one day. I don't know. Yeah, just open that up, I guess, for lack of anything better to open. Going to enter full screen mode again. Now I did notice the picture itself, you have to kind of work a little bit with the picture to get it to fit in there. But all I wanted to say about this was it's a nice way, you know, there's stuff you can use on here for cropping. There's stuff you can use on here for the lasso tool for selecting. So you can still do a lot of stuff in here that you would do in Photoshop. It's definitely not as robust, but it does work. So you can do things. It has some basic filters. You can add noise. You can pixelate. You know, just do that. It'll ask you how much you want to pixelate it. You can work the slider and pixelate. So it does some pretty cool things. So it's worth playing around with. It's worth setting up a free account. And if nothing else, you might be out and maybe you have a laptop and you don't have Elements on it. This is web-based, so it's always there. So once again, that is called Splash Up, is what the name of the program is. Just close that out. This says, are you absolutely sure you want to close this image? Yep, pretty much I'm absolutely sure. All right. Let's exit this. So, click OK on that. Get rid of that. All right. So that is SplashUp. Like I said, you just set up a free account. You're good to go. Now let's go back into Windows 7. Windows 7, there's one other one for the Mac that I've played with called GIMP. You may have played with it or not. It's GIMP. It's a funny name. It's been around for a long time. And I know that stands for something. If anybody knows, they're in the chat room. GIMP, what that stands for. It's like graphical imaging manipulation something, I think. Program or something. But it is free, and it does work for Windows as well as the Mac, as well as Linux. For Kevin, who loves Linux. And Brian, I think. I think Brian told me you like to play with Linux also. Now, on the Windows side here, we're going to make a selection here and close this down a little bit. Just so you guys can see this. This is live training, and this is what Dave said. You know, when you take on live training, it's live training. It can have a lot of different issues. First issue was the record thing didn't work, so hopefully Justin TV is keeping a very nice recording of this for us on the greatest DVR in the world there. Thanks to Justin TV for that. There's two programs I really, really like that I've used a lot. One is called Picasa. Now, Picasa is Picasa 3. It was purchased by Google some years ago when it was only a baby. It was Picasa 1. They purchased it from the gentleman who wrote it or team who wrote it or whatever. The team made millions. They went away. Google now owns it and they've updated it. So Picasa 3 is very nice. If you've never seen it, bring it up here. First thing you do, it's an organizer as well as a basic editor. Now remember, I said basic editor. Not to say stripped down editor, but a basic editor nevertheless. You can do some nice little edits with it, but the first thing I like about Picasa, when you install it, it will find all the pictures under my pictures folder and create all these nice little folders over on the left over here. Then, if you want to edit, you can simply right click on it and go to Edit and View. And now we're in Editor right here. You can do all this neat little stuff on some basic fixes like cropping, straightening. It's almost like the guided edit in Photoshop Elements. Red eye. I'm feeling lucky. There's auto contrast. There's color. You can edit in Picnik, which is Picnik, which is an online editor that my daughter was supposed to be teaching today, but she obviously was a little camera shy this morning. Didn't want to come up and teach that. So we're going to hold that because I'm going to get her on one morning. We can also go into effects, and you got all these different effects you can do. Tinting. There's a nice tinting effect. You can color it back and forth. You can do some different stuff with that. Cancel it. You can do some soft focusing. Fix the saturation. You can tune it with some fill lighting. That's nice. I mean, it's a very nice, very easy to work editor. It's a great program maybe for, you know, you buy grandma and grandpa that new digital camera and they don't want to do Photoshop. They're like, oh, I don't want to do Photoshop. That's too much. Allow them to maybe use Picasa. So it's really easy for them to use. What I always liked about it at the bottom, you can upload your pictures. You can geotag them. You can make a slideshow, a very easy slideshow. And you can blog them. If you're a member of Blogger, you can actually blog those and export them, print them, and do whatever else you really want to do with them. Now that is, Picasa does, like I say, again, it's for Windows, it's for the Mac, as well as Linux. So for you Linux users out there, you have two options now. You have the GIMP and Picasa, and they both work very, very well. Now, another program that I liked that couple folks I work with said, you know, they like to use it even better than Photoshop, which is fine. I mean, Photoshop is not the end-all to end-all. It's what I use. It's what I've been using for years. But there is another one here. called paint.net. And when I was downloading this morning at paint.net, I think I can show you the websites here, actually. I think I do have those up. Right here. This is from, actually, dotpdn.com. dot, so .pdn.com. One thing I did notice that Paint, with the Paint.net program, when you're downloading and installing, it says, be very sure that you don't pay anybody for this. This is free software. They make that very clear. It's free software. So, what you would want to do, though, on their website, I'm sure there's someplace on here, after you install it, there's a little donation button. If you want to kick them, if you like the program, you want to kick them $2 or $3 even. Because I know I take donations through this show, and everything helps out. So if you like it and you use it, and it's saving you $70 on Photoshop, maybe kick them a couple dollars. Here's the Picasa download right there. It's Picasa, Picasa. It's free. Download that. There's version 3.8. But this is the Paint program right here. We're going to open up a image. We'll open up that same image because it's handy. And there you go. And this does have layers. Again, it does not have layer masks that I could find. And I couldn't pull this down and duplicate it or anything. I tried that. I couldn't duplicate the background layer. I don't think Command J works. No, see, Command J didn't do anything, or Control J. Maybe Control J. I'm on the Windows side of things here. Oh, nope. Control J flips her. So there you go. We learned a keyboard shortcut with the Paint program. This is Paint.net, not the Paint program that comes with Windows. If you want to go to Effects, there's some different stuff I was playing with this morning. There's blurring. I like this one under Artistic. Ink sketching. I thought this was kind of nice. Makes a really, really nice ink sketch. And I have some people that play around with these that use multiple editors. You don't use one editor. You can use a lot of editors. So I thought that was really, really neat effect there. Makes it look really, really nice. So there's another editor you can download and play around with. Now with Paint, it's only, unfortunately, available for Windows. But I'm sure it works on Windows XP and Windows 7, probably Windows Vista. I get a lot of calls for Windows Vista still. And I'm sure it will work for Windows Vista. What is nice up here at the top, though, with this one, like Photoshop, unlike Elements, it keeps your history. I've never seen an Elements anywhere that keeps history like Photoshop does. So there you go. Other than that, you have a lot of things you can play around with. And you have a lot of different areas to play around with there that you can use with this program. And I'm sure you'd be pretty impressed with it if you wanted to go ahead and start using it. We will get rid of this. And let's see here. We're not going to save the image. We are, however, going to close all these windows. So remember, one is called Paint.net. Don't look for Paint because that comes with Windows. And the other one's Picasa 3. So check those out. And the other one I talked about was GIMP. I didn't show you GIMP because GIMP takes a little bit of time to load. So I did not show you GIMP. There we go. We're going to shut my Windows 7 down. And we will go back to here. Okay. Let's jump back on this camera, see what we're talking about in the chat room here. Let's bring my laptop back around here a little bit. And we will see what's going on here. Okay. All right, and we'll see what's going on here this morning with these fine folks. And just stop that here. Just popping back in the chat room right now to see what everybody's talking about and to see if you have any questions in there. Let's see. Okay, looks like Chicky might have put another one in there, and I appreciate that. The link in there. Don't know what that one's for. Nova Development. Windows Vista stinks. Yeah, I think you're right, Dave. It's been a one of those operating systems and I've been in the technology field for a long time. And what we talked about was what we talked about actually was that Windows Vista is kind of like Windows ME was. I don't know if you remember Windows ME, how long you folks been around computers, but it was kind of a cross between 95 and XP. And they came out with that program, and it was a moneymaker for Microsoft is all it was. They just wanted to make a ton of cash really, really quick. So yeah, you're right. But Vista works as long as you don't mess with it. So we found one time we updated Vista to a newer version of Vista, and it broke it. So, and Chicky, thanks. You're going to go back on my YouTube and start watching some of the past videos. Thank you very much. Hopefully those will help you out, I'm sure. If you have any questions, you can drop me an email. Debbie1234. Let me go back down through here. We got a lot of new people in the chat room this morning. I want to make some shout outs. Andy Taylor, good morning. Carl, Cheryl, Chicky, David, or Dave. Then I got David B. I got Debbie, 1254. Fabian, Jessica, June. Good morning, June, 585. Kevin, Serena, User 3, and Vicky. Hey, thanks everybody for coming in here this morning. That is fantastic, and I always enjoy having you stop by. Like I said, there was some issues this morning. I did get an error message with my recording, because when I do these, I also record this for YouTube. There was an issue there, so I'm going to have to try to figure out a way, and I'm actually have to record it from Justin TV to make a YouTube video to send to YouTube. So we'll see how that pans out for me. Using different software right now, and the software, although the streaming seems to be better, we may have to go back to the other software and try to work out some kinks with that, see if we can fix that up a little bit, because the recording was so much better, and that's what I need. I need the recording for YouTube. So, okay, yes, I see it. Thanks. Hey, Jack. Hey, Chicky. Got you in there. Going through this chat room here. Wow, there's a lot of stuff I've been missing here, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. There you go. See that, Chicky? Jessica said that, though. That would be a great present, is the DVD collection. Jessica's one of our leading salespeople here at Jack's Tech Corner. And I can't say it because then I got to pay her, so I can't say that either. I don't want to be paying all these people, because everybody is great salespeople here. I appreciate the shout outs, guys, for the DVDs. They are available on the website, so they are there. We can still get them out for Christmas. Naturally, that's a great thing. Let's see here. Chicky, thank you very much about the rocking here. I'm glad that you enjoy it. And I think that's the thing, too, is I think it's just people coming in here, too. We got to get people in here that enjoy photography. And I told my wife everybody enjoys photography now. It's a great pastime. But you are going to spend money. My goodness, for the hobby. Just looking around the room here, I know I have $1,000 sitting around here just in photography equipment. That's easy. Well, that's a camera. 1,000. Let's say 5,000. Easy. Okay, that's right. Jessica, just tell them. Ask Santa Claus. Going back through the chat room and seeing what's going on here. Debbie, perhaps down the road. Serena Test is fine. Thank you. Good morning. And And let's see here. Anybody else? We're going to put the chat room back up here this morning, back into the camera, and see if anybody else has any questions. You can see your chat coming up right on the screen. As soon as you see that, where you've seen there, the show has just joined the channel. The show is the actual chat window underneath of us. It's right there. Right there, you can see the chat window. So you can now talk into there. We can say like morning, and we will see that pop up. Yep, with the capital O. M-O-R-I-N-G. That looks better. Okay. So with that said, folks, I hope everybody picked up something this week from the show. And, as I said, I'm very, very humbled and very honored that you let me come and join you at your computer room or at your laptop or in your cars. I've been on iPhones. I've been on iPod Touches. It's really, really great. And Dave, thanks for feeling our pain about live teaching. But I love this venue. I often told my wife, I said, can I keep that going? She says, you have to, because you love doing it. And I do. I love doing this venue. I love bringing stuff to you guys live because it gives me a chance to interact with you folks and to know who's out there watching the show. I think that's really, really important. YouTube's great. YouTube's been fantastic to me. We've had a long-time relationship since about 2008. I've been posting videos and, over 6,000 some subscribers. So people are coming there and visiting and seeing my shows. And I get a lot of comments. But this live chat stuff is fun. It's fantastic to be able to sit here and talk to you guys about photography and computers in general. So we are going to wrap this show up. I do appreciate everybody coming out this week, as every week. And as we get more and more closer to the holiday here coming up, maybe we'll have some gift-giving ideas for the photographers. So if you have spouses or loved ones that's buying you gifts this year, or if Santa Claus is around and Santa Claus is picking up something, maybe we'll do a gift-giver guide for photographers, which you may want to find in your Christmas stocking or underneath the tree. So once again, everybody, thank you very, very much for joining Jack's Tech Corner. I'm your host, Jack, and this was episode number 35 of Photography Weekly. And I'll catch you back here very, very soon, or catch me through the week on YouTube. I'll see you next Sunday. So long for now. Bye.